Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Mindset Medicine. My name is Chris Carton.
And my name is Kevin Carton.
So this is the first official episode of our channel where we're going to be introducing the topic of everything is created twice. So if you haven't seen our intro video yet, I'd recommend going to check that out because it just explains what we're doing with this channel and why you should be here and why you should listen to us. That's a great video to check out. So yeah, everything's created twice, Kev. Do you have any intro thoughts to talk on about this?
Yeah, it's actually what popped in my mind is there's a great video by Jim Carrey where he's talking with Oprah on her show, and he's talking about his success story, and he really used this principle of everything's created twice. And the first thing he said when they're in the midst of the conversation, Oprah asked him like, "Oh, so you just visualize and then what?" Well, Jim Carrey goes, "Well, you have to visualize. You have to know what you want in your mind first, and we'll talk about that. But then you can't just go and eat a sandwich. In other words, you can't just not do anything. Yes, everything is created twice, and we'll dive into that, but you have to take action. We live in this physical realm that we have these five senses for a reason so that we are interacting with the physical world. It's not all just mental. So that I definitely wanted to presence first, that what we'll talk about is in the mental and starts in mind first, but it matters that you have to take action if you want to create what you have in your mind first.
Yeah, and I think just to bridge off of that, when we say that everything's created twice, I think a lot of you guys that are listening are like, yeah, I know that. But there's a difference between knowing something and then knowing about something. So like when you really internalize and be like, hey, I can really see this working in my life, then it actually starts to become true. So I mean, take a look around your room right now, and we'll just do this exercise too. So I see a cat house over there, a table here, this watch, the floor, basically the building that we're living in.
These awesome socks.
Yeah. it had to have started out as an idea in somebody's mind. So again, I know that, but once you start to realize that, you start to get real careful about what you're thinking about and what you're, going to eventually manifest in your life. There's a great quote from I think it's from The Power of the Subconscious Mind, but I can't remember. But it basically says that thoughts that you think about over and over again have a tendency to manifest themselves in their physical equivalent. So that's, it's just the power of that.
Yeah, it's the power of thought, of having, and here's where I want to make a little note, is because, all right, maybe this is the first time you're even coming to awareness, like, okay, everything's created twice, or maybe you've known it for quite a while, but now it's how you work with it. But the thing I really want to underscore, really want to point out is that not every single thought is going to be manifest into form like that. So then, cause some people come to me and they're like, well, what if, I have this fear thought, like I'm scared even further that, oh my gosh, I'm creating that now, that's going to be my life. No, it happens over time. There's something called the law of gestation, which I'm sure we'll get into in another video, but it takes time. And when what the key is, it's emphasized in your mind. Like he said, repeated, but it's also emotionalized. When the thought is emotionalized, then it's way more likely to clothe itself into its physical equivalent because it's brought into existence by your energy. So if you have a passing thought, there's thoughts that pop into my mind, and I'm sure into your mind, sure into your mind, where it's just like, wait a minute, where the hell did that come from? It's okay. It's not going to be manifested in a form if you don't want it, and also too if you don't emphasize it and repeat it over time. But what is repeated, what is emphasized, will eventually then become form, which is good in the sense that let's start creating what you want in your mind first.
Yeah. And
it's also bad though because then it's like, well, you got to be, like you said, really careful with your thoughts, which is where we're getting at here today.
Yeah, and I think you were kind of getting into the vibrational energy of what's backing thoughts. And then again, when you have a passing thought, if it comes and you're like, oh, where did that come from? That's different than when you have a desire or a consistent pattern of thoughts that start to structure itself around a particular idea. And then once you start giving that structure of thoughts, your emotions and your energies, that's when you really start to see it come true in your physical world.
Yeah.
So I guess for all of the viewers here, and something that I did in the very beginning when I was first starting to learning about this was I started to get real honest with myself and was looking at the results in my life, and I started to kind of reverse engineer what kind of thoughts and thought patterns and paradigms I've been stuck in that have created the results that I currently see in my life. because the results that you see are a perfect vibrational frequency and a perfect vibrational match to how you're feeling within. And I know that might be like a hard concept to grasp at first, but
the simple way to bring that in, because like you said a lot of big words that may be new, but hindsight is 20/20. You can connect the dots if you really look back in your life of how you got to where you are today, and a majority of it is your own thinking, your own actions.
No, that's so true. And I think that's what I was trying to say when I first started to come around all this energy. And I'm just going to introduce a quick story here that was, I guess, an example of this that I've seen currently in my life.
In a good way.
Yeah, so in the introductory video, I mean, we talked about what we're doing now and how we kind of got to where we are now, but I'm currently in school studying acupuncture and Chinese medicine. And I can show you, I have a journal that I write down a lot of ideas in. And in early July, when I was still at my current job as an accountant, I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I had kind of had like I started to build like an idea and a structure of, oh, like I would want to work in medicine and I want to help people and I want to be a healer. And when acupuncture came up, I wrote down in my notebook, apply to Pacific College of Oriental Medicine, which is the school I'm currently at now. And so I took that step and I did it. And then over the next couple weeks, I was going through the process, I went through the interviews and I got in. And again, like the hindsight 20/20 thing, where I look back and I'm like, wow, like I'm in school now, and the energy that I felt like when I was applying, I'm like living it now. And it's just a small example of, you really need to know where you want to go and create that image in your mind first before you can, manifest it into the physical equivalent. So yeah, you can't get something that you don't think about often, right? Like
no wind is favorable to the sailor with no destination.
That's a good quote.
You need a destination. You need to have a clear mental picture in your mind. And what he did, which most people would miss, is that he wrote it down.
Yeah.
There is science backing the power of writing your goals, dreams, desires, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to label it, what you want, onto paper. Because here's the science of it, just really quick. Again, you can look this up. Google's amazing. You can look up anything. But the science of it is, so with your imaginative faculty. Nailed it. With your oh my god, I messed it up again.
Imaginative faculty.
There you go.
That's
whatever he said.
Partners here.
That you create a mental picture in your mind. So that's with your right brain, because it's creative. To activate the most you can with your brain, you have to take it to left brain, which is logical. It's so by writing it down on paper, using your hand to write it down, that's taking it from the imaginative realm, I got it this time, into the first physical equivalent, which is on paper. And it may be scary to write it down. It's like, well, then the thoughts come up, oh, well, what if this never happens? How is it going to happen? All that shit. Get it out of your mind right now. Just write down what you want. Just write it down. Write it down.
Yeah, and going off the writing down stuff, like ever since I started doing that, I write down just a lot of things now. Even negative thoughts sometimes, I'll just write them down, because I don't know if this ever happened to you guys, but this happens to me a lot with positive and negative ideas. They'll just rattle around in there. Like I'll start thinking about it for like a half hour straight, or like an hour straight, and I'll forget about it and it'll come up like later in the day. When I write it down, it kind of like empties that faucet and kind of just like clears my mind so that other ideas can come to me. And that's really helped me, just writing stuff down and taking that kind of approach. It's like really,
it's good.
It's really good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey again.
I know. Well, he's awesome. I don't know if I've been watching a lot of his videos recently.
Yeah.
He's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe him.
I know.
But yeah, so that's the basic concept of everything's created twice. And again, we don't have a lot of time to speak with you guys, obviously, because we can talk about this for hours, and the amount of study that we've put into this simple concept. Simple, but it's a simple concept, but it's not an easy thing to understand, right?
No.
You really got to start practicing it in order to see the results in your life
consistently.
Yeah, and if you don't really know how to practice it right now, do what we just suggested earlier, and hindsight's 20/20. Start to look back in your life about consistent thought patterns that you currently had and see how they've manifested themselves in your current reality now, and then you can start to really see the power of it. And then once you start to notice those patterns, then you can change them and you can say, hey, like, what do I want to build in the future? What do I want to create in the future? How do I want to be in the future? And so yeah, I think so that kind of leads us into like the topic we're going to talk about next week.
Our next video, because again, we don't have that much time with you here, because attention span is limited now in technology days. So I appreciate you for staying tuned here because only way to hear this is if you stay tuned. So.
Yeah, and be present.
Awesome,
Yeah.
great job. Subscribe to our YouTube channel because then you get an update of these every single week because we're planning on doing these every single week. So stay tuned because then that mental pattern will consistently repeat itself so that, and we're going to share new information, but it's the repetitive nature of getting into a structure of support that helps. So subscribe if you're not. Come back to these videos, rewatch some things that maybe like stood out to you, write them down.
Yeah.
So just start taking notes on not only this, what we're talking about here, but also on your life. Because that's what matters. Why we're even doing this is because, like we said in the intro video, our lives have changed so much from this information. Now we just want to pass it on. So take it, run with it, use it. It does no good if you're watching this and you're not doing something. Because inspiration without action is merely entertainment, and we're not here as an entertainment channel. We're here for an inspirational channel and also an actionable channel. So stay with us, stay tuned, subscribe, and next week we're going to talk about what he just ended off with, which is noticing what you're noticing. And that's super key. It's literally the number one tool as what we call ourselves the brave thinking masters. And it's how you can really create your life on your own terms, because there's things that are going to come up in your life that are not like what you want. So this one tool, noticing what you're noticing, will help you in that. And we'll dive into that next week.
And just a little prefix of it too. It's just we as humans are the only species on planet Earth that have the ability to self-reflect and take an inventory of our internal environment and our external environment and be like, hey, I don't like this. Let me switch the environment, which is, when you really think about it, amazing. Yeah. So again, stay tuned for our next week's episode on Notice What You're Noticing. We're going to be providing some awesome value in that, and again, another one of my favorite topics. Again, I think all these topics are going to be my favorite topics. Just
probably hear him say that every week.
Yeah, you might.
This is my favorite.
You might.
This is my favorite.
Yeah, I guess I can have more than. I guess I can have more than one favorite.
Yeah, why not?
But yeah, so stay tuned, and if you want more from us, we both have Instagram pages. We post a lot of inspirational content on there with commentary on quotes, and again, just actionable items like that. I think that's the whole point about a lot of this stuff is that. You can read all the books, you can watch all the videos, you can read all the quotes, but until you start taking action in your personal lives and with your personal situations and really start to feel the energy shift in your lives, you're just gonna feel stuck. So just take action, take that chance. And again, so subscribe below. And if you haven't watched the intro video, head over there and check it out, and then stay tuned for next week.
Yes, and he mentioned our Instagram accounts. They're tagged below in the information in the details. So go follow us. We share a lot more content there. We're just getting started here on YouTube. So we have a wealth of information on there. So if you want some more, go check it out. And until next time.
I just have one more thing to add.
Fine.
I just have one more thing to add.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Again, we're just starting out on our YouTube channel, and we're still experimenting with, are we going to edit videos together, or we're just going to kind of just talk?
I like this.
I kind of like the talking thing. So again, if you guys have any suggestions and what you would
comment
how better for us to give you the information. This is how the idea started for us. We were just talking on the couch, and we were like, hey, we should just film this because we talk about a lot of great ideas that I feel like a lot of people in this day and age really want to hear. So again, if you guys have any suggestions, let us know. But
shoot the comments below. Also, say what is your favorite part about this video? Comment below. Again, we're talking about action items, actionable items. The least you could do is just put a comment below. What you liked, what you didn't like, what we can improve on, what you think that we should talk about, anything. I mean, we have a plan, an idea of where we're going to go, but I mean, we want to create more videos, so give us some ideas. Your ideas matter too.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Yeah.